Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be my September update for Pan in Every palette. This is an ongoing project where I'm trying to hit a pan in every palette I own. It is a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. This project was originally created by my friend Lady Pansalot over on Instagram. I will have her Instagram account linked down below, along with a bunch of other people that have participated along the way. There are similar projects with slightly different names, but you get the idea. We're trying to hit pan on our palettes. I am working on 4 palettes at a time, 1 face palette, 3 eyeshadow palettes, and I have a new pan for you guys today. It is the face palette. Here it is right here. This is my Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette. I'm a little disappointed to talk about how much I love this palette. Probably not going to ever repurchase this, but I am really enjoying the powders in this palette. They're really good. So here is my new pan right here. Look at that. It's, oh, you can't see it. There it is. It's a good pan. It's not just a little baby pan. It's not just a little speck. It's a nice looking pan. And I honestly feel like I am less than a week away from hitting pan on this shade here. I have been using these two together, just like Jaclyn Hill told me to. And it's been working great to set my under eyes. I really like this powder. You are not going to believe how many uses it took for me to hit pan on this shade right here. Are you ready? It took me 138 uses to hit pan on this shade. And at that point, it was just a little speck of a pan. I have continued to use this shade throughout the month because I was trying to hit pan on this shade as well. And because I just wanted to keep using it, to be honest. So I did use it another 27 times after I hit pan. So I must have hit pan shortly after my last update. But yeah, I've really been enjoying this, and part of me really needs to keep going on this one, and I need to hit pan on that one too. Like, I'm too far in to just walk away from it. So far, as of right now, I have 158 uses on this shade and still no pan. So that's kind of crazy. I don't know how people hit pan on this so fast, but that's how many uses. I'm not using it all over my face. I'm really just using it under my eyes. Sometimes, occasionally, I use it to set my eyeshadow on my eyelids, and every once in a while, I apply a little bit like around my nose area. But mostly I just use this to set the concealer under my eyes, and that's it. But it has been a lot of work to get to where I am today with this palette, much more than I ever imagined. And yeah, I hit pan. This is technically rolling out of this project today, but I'm just gonna say it right now. I can't quit this. I have got to hit pan on this. I feel like I could feel the pan just on the other side of this powder. Like, it is right there. Like, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, it's gonna be a pan. So I am gonna keep going with this until I hit pan, even if it's just to set my eyeshadow primer every day. I don't know, I gotta keep going. But this is rolling out of this project today because of my beautiful pan right there. So that's exciting. It has been a long time since I've hit a pan in this project. All right, let's go over the 3 eyeshadow palettes I've been working on. Let's start with the one I use the least. La Vie en Rose. I only gave her my mandatory minimum of 1 use for the month. The look I created was a beautiful look. I don't think I filmed on that day. I was intending to, and it did not happen. But this is the shadow I'm trying to hit pan on. 1 use a month at a time, which is ridiculous. The dip is growing. I'm getting there at a very, very, very slow pace. Next, I have my Life's a Festival palette from Too Faced, and the shade I'm trying to hit pan on is called Fun in the Sun. This top one right here. There's a good sized dip starting to form in there, and I did manage to use this 3 times in the past month. Still loving that shade so much. It is a really good dupe for Electric in the Subculture palette, but maybe an even better formula, I think. I really like this shade. I would totally buy a single of that if Too Faced sold it as a single. It is just I love it. I love it so much. So 3 more uses on that one this past month. It really is a great palette. I like this palette a lot. And my final palette is ABH Subculture. I was really hoping and expecting to have pan in this palette by today, but to be honest, I'm kind of excited I don't. Like, do I really mind keeping this in my bathroom for the month of October? No, I don't. I'm excited to have it in my bathroom for the month of October. I want to reach for this palette every day during the month of October. So there's no pan yet. I am really working hard on hitting pan in New Wave, and I keep aiming my brush for this corner down here, and it's getting deep. It's getting quite a deep dip there. I don't feel like I'm able to really show you, so you'll just have to take my word on it, but we are getting there. Again, I feel very close to hitting pan on this one. I'm guessing I'll have pan by next month. I'm wearing this today all over my crease and transition area. I do also have Dawn on as well. I have gotten in the habit of pairing these two together when I use this one. I just reach for this one first and kind of blend it out above my crease, kind of more in the transition area. I think the shadow from my Baby Panette palette could have done the same job, but it's nice to just reach for this one palette for both jobs instead of having to pull out that little duo just to blend out this shade right here. Yeah, so both of these shadows, Dawn and New Wave, did get 6 uses over the past month, which is pretty good. I mean, that's a pretty good amount for me for this kind of side project. My main project is my Panette palette, and those are the shadows I tried to give the most attention to, and then I focus on these and other eyeshadows. So 6 uses for those shades are a pretty good amount for, I think. But yeah, I do think I will have pan by next month, but we will see, because I thought I would have pan by today and I don't. Okay, I love it when this happens, but it is time to roll in a new palette to replace my Kat Von D Shade and Light eye palette. I have really been enjoying working on a palette that has a powder that I could use as an under eye setting powder. There's not a lot of competition for that department in my products I am panning right now, which is nice. As far as face products go, I'm panning bronzers, I'm panning blushes, I'm panning highlighters. So it makes sense to keep going with the powders that I could use as under eye setting powders. And luckily, I have one more. Once I hit pan on this one, I'm gonna have to come up with a different plan, because this is my last under eye setting powder inside a palette. And it is this palette right here, at least as far as I know. I'll have to double check my inventory, but I'm pretty sure this palette is the last one that has an under eye setting powder, or a powder that I could use as an under eye setting powder. To be honest, I've never tried it even once, so I don't know if I could really use it as an under eye setting powder, but that's the plan, and that's what I'm gonna try tomorrow. Why is it that every time I touch my Subculture palette, I end up with blue fingers? I think that happened last month too. I have got to stop that, because that's annoying. I must be touching Access somehow. Access. Okay, back to this guy. This is called my Bare Minerals Translucent Powder Duo. I don't remember if I bought this or I received it in some kind of a subscription box or what. I want to say I bought this, but this is what it looks like on the inside. There's just 2 pans in this little palette. One side is called Matte and one side is called Glow. I think I'm going to be working on the matte side, since I do have 2 highlighters, glowy highlighters, that I'm currently working on. But I think I can use this matte side as an under eye setting powder. At least that is my hope. If it doesn't work out, I'm gonna have to come up with another plan. Man, this feels so soft. But yeah, it's just a matte white powder. Not much to it. It blends out to pretty much nothing, but adds a little bit of brightness, and it does a good job of kind of like filling in pores and little fine lines. hopefully this works. If any of you guys have panned that shade before, this matte side, let me know how it worked and where you used it. But for now, this is the last face powder that I have in a palette form. I have lots of face powders that don't have pan in them that are singles, but this is the last one that's technically a palette. I think it might be kind of a stretch to call a 2-pan face powder a palette, but I'm reaching. I'm definitely reaching. Once I do hit pan in this one, I'm gonna have to come up with a different plan. But for now, I want to hit pan on the matte side of this Bare Minerals duo. I have had this duo for many years, and I don't feel like I've really given it any love at all. It's basically brand new. Maybe I've used it once or twice. This glowy side is only lightly glowy. I wonder if I could mix those two shades together to make a nice under eye setting powder. The glowy side is more of a face powder. I'm gonna have to play around with this and see what I can do with it. I thought the glowy side was gonna be more of like an actual highlighter. Doesn't really highlight too much. And it's really white. Let me know, guys. Let me know what your experience with this powder has been. I'm thinking maybe I'll just mix the two together and use it to set my under eyes. I don't know. I'm curious. What do you know about this? Let me know. All right, that is going to be it for this video. And my blue fingers, every time I touch that Subculture palette, I end up with blue fingers. I'm really excited to have pan on the Kat Von D palette. Like I said, I'm going to keep working on it until I hit pan in that middle top highlighter shade. I got to keep going. I don't think it'll take more than a few more days, but I will be back in a month to let you know my progress, and hopefully I will have pan on New Wave in my Subculture palette. It has taken such a long time. I really thought I'd be moving a lot faster through that, since we all know the formula of that Subculture palette is very powdery and there's a lot of kick up, but I don't feel like it's going that much faster for me than any of my other palettes, and I reach for that palette constantly. I just love that New Wave shade. I've just fallen in love with it so much. If I look tired, it's because I'm really tired. All right, you guys, that is going to be it for this update. Thank you so very much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.